What's up, everybody? Welcome to Happy Hour. This is Ashley Johnson here for another fabulous road on the way to our happy, right? I am super excited about today's episode. Listen, I'm going to go ahead and just let the cat out the bag. This one is going to be juicy. It's going to be so good because one of the things I hear from everybody, especially here lately, is soft girl season. I don't want struggle season. I want to know how to tap into my feminine energy. When am I in balance and when am I out of balance? As a Christian, should I even be in balance at all? It's so much. Ooh-wee. So on today's episode of Happy Hour, we're going to dive into masculine and feminine energy. What are we doing to make sure that we are in balance? It's going to be something today, y'all. Let's get it. A whole lot of folks right now that's on the motherboard. And now you might got 8 or 9 baby daddies. Now let me turn this phone over because that done went messy quick. Since everybody's hollering about this is soft girl season, really, what does that look like? I want to kind of help you journey and find out how to walk out happy. Somebody shout every single day. Oh, I went a little low. I went every single day. Did y'all see I did that? It blessed me. Here we are, y'all, in my happy place here. And I just want to go ahead and invite you, get in a space that makes you feel happy. And honey, if you don't, you need to find one. Every single person needs somewhere in their home, some spot that you call your happy place. But here's my secret. Baby, everywhere is my happy place because I'm happy. All of this, y'all see all this polka dot sunshine? All of this is my happy place, but it hadn't always been that way. I want to kind of help you journey and find out how to walk out happy. Somebody shout every single day. Oh, I went a little low. I went every single day. Did y'all see I did that? It blessed me. Let's dive in, everybody, as we talk about today's controversial subject, masculine and feminine energy. What is it? What is all this talk about soft girl season? I've been hearing, it's been on social media and TikTok and IG and everywhere else where people are saying, Lord, please don't give me the struggle gospel. Lord, I want this to be soft girl season. I need this to be where I can rest, where I can get a break, where I'm not climbing up the rough side of the mountain. So, let's talk about it. Let's dive into it. Let's get into some content today about what masculine and feminine energy is. So, of course, I'm going to start off telling you guys about me, making it personal, because I think this is really what a lot of you all can identify with. Some of the things about the softer side were some of the things that I rejected early on. And I'll tell you why. Growing up, I grew up in a loving home. I'm an amazing mom. I'm still grateful. My parents are still married happily and together and all of that. But I saw a lot of things, not just stuff I saw at home, but just stuff I saw in general, where I saw in my mind a generation of women that, in my opinion, looked as if they were weak. Are we going to be are we going here? Or are we going here? Right? And I would watch them at times as a child allow men to smooth run over them. Like literally at some point, it wasn't like, where do we both want to eat? I just saw some women kind of lose themselves in their consciousness. Like it was almost like the Coming to America, whatever you like, not even having their own mind. And I remember as a girl quietly observing and forming the paradigm. Paradigm is a system of thoughts and beliefs, and forming in my mind, no. And if that's what that look like, I don't want that, because I have a mind. I got my own mind. I got some thoughts. I got some things that I want to do. And I've never not wanted to be a wife. I've never not wanted to be a mom. Those were some of the things I knew from childhood that I wanted to do. But what I didn't want to be was the visualization of what I saw was weak. Where literally there were men that kind of started treating some women as if they were their children. And then I saw the opposite of women who were so heavy in the masculine that it emasculated some of the men. And somewhere along the lines, I saw lines get muddy, right? And I just began to start seeing things out of balance. So fast forward. As I began to date and matriculate, right? I went into it with a mindset that I've always been girly, I've always been feminine. Great. I thought that because I love the nail polish and all of that, I thought I was bringing feminine energy. Child, wait till we talk some more here, because I didn't realize that I brought with me a level of aggression. I brought with me some things that were not soft, and I didn't know it, because in my mind, every person that I saw that was soft also looked weak. Is this too, are we here or are we not? Because are we going to really have this conversation? Because you got a lot of folks, and I know it's people that are watching me right now. Some of you are in the church, and some of you are not. So I'm not just going to speak to that audience, that crowd. But for men and women, I feel like there's been some things where the water has gotten muddy. And sometimes you grow up looking at what you feel like soft looks like, and all of a sudden, that ain't what you want. So let me talk to the men for a minute. I also seen men that grew up seeing masculine so out of balance that they leaned more to the feminine energy because it was too aggressive. It was too controlling. Are we going to talk, y'all? It was too much. It was too competitive. It was over the top. They couldn't make any mistakes. They couldn't show any emotion. So guess what they decided to do? If that's what masculine looks like, oh, we're going to talk about it. Then they made up in their mind, if that's what that's going to look like, then I don't want it. So I'm going to be heavy over in the feminine energy. And then you got some women that say, no, if that's what feminine soft looks like, let me go on over here into the masculine energy. And both of us are completely and totally out of balance. Whoo, child, do we need to pause for station identification? Because, friend, this thing here is just super deep. But it's conversations that we've been shouting around, we've been walking around, and we're wondering why so many people aren't happy, right? So let's talk about my journey. So with my journey, I remember making up in my mind that I was going to be strong. And so I would say in my dating relationships, when they would say, how would you describe yourself? My number one comment about myself was how strong I was. And I didn't realize that that was not necessarily the best badge of honor to carry, because a lot comes with the fact that you wear that on your sleeve, that you are strong. Because if you're always strong, guess what? People have an expectation that you don't have any off days. They have an expectation that you don't have needs. They have an expectation, oh, you can take a licking and keep on ticking. Then they have an expectation, if it's out of balance, that they can keep pushing you because you are the one that has got this word that everybody wants, and that's resilient. Huh? And I think resilient has been taken a little bit out of balance. Let's just be real. Because resilient is great on one end. I've got the ability to come back, right? But another side of unbalanced resilient is I'm going to let you treat me like beep, 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 beep. I don't know if there's a censor mechanism over here, because I was finna let something come out.
This season on Happy Hour,
I always like to come from a real place, because sometimes you guys see people who are on the platform and it looks like they are dressed up and they've really not had any struggles and they've really not had any issues, especially, let me just move this mic a little bit so I can clap, especially in the religious scene. I was, but I brought it back. I did. But it's like a coupon to keep treating and abusing the fact that you know that I can take a licking and keep on ticking. What? Is anybody clapping? I just feel like somebody's behind the screen like, girl, yes. So, yes, like what is it, right? You know, how do we find the balance between masculine and feminine energy? What is healed feminine energy? What is healed masculine energy? And then what is it when it's toxic and completely out of balance? So over the pandemic, I decided to go for a journey. And the journey was that this strong woman that could take a licking, I decided she was tired. I said it. That girl that could handle everybody's phone calls, everybody's problems, be all things to all people, and then nobody really thinking that you have an off day, and then so you got to cry later because you don't want nobody to see you. The straw that broke the camel's back for me was having a conversation with my daughter. And she said to me, I said, whatever you're going through, she was having an off time. I said, whatever you're going through, cry, get it out. And she looked at me so odd. And she said, you don't cry. Y'all, it was like, I said, what do you mean I don't cry? She said, you never have an off day. This is what she said to me. She said, you're always perfect. Y'all, it did me like a DDT. This is no exaggeration. I did not know that in my quest to always keep it together by doing, by achieving, that I was setting before her a precedent that she could not fail and that she just could not be. And it was a wake-up call for me because I used to get my approval by doing good. So guess what I started doing from an early age? I was in every oratorical competition and I would always win. I was literally every competition that you can think of. I've always been good. And so guess what I would do? My approval was connected to me always having to be perfect. Right. Is this strong, y'all? I mean, woo. And I did not realize that spirit of perfectionism was a manifestation of feminine energy that was completely out of balance. I did not know that part of healthy feminine energy is not in doing, it's in being. Me doing means that I'm heavy in masculine energy. The masculine heavy energy feels good in doing. They want to do. They want to achieve. It's built into the man. They want to do, they want to achieve. Healthy feminine energy, watch this, is I'm at my best when I can be. What is so off-putting about this is that for a lot of men, the reason why some of them are in wounded masculine is because nobody has really given them the space or opportunity to do and achieve successfully. What is it for women? Is that women have been so busy, especially from the single parent side, having to do and having to achieve, that the waters have gotten muddy and then they're out of balance. So what happens with that, right? A woman in her feminine energy, watch this, y'all, she is sensual. Now, when you say saved and sensual, I'm going to do a whole nother show about it because the peoples gets hurt, wounded, quick. Woo! Somebody right now wants to send me a note right now. You doing too much. When in actuality, the beauty of my femininity ought to be an aroma when I come into a room. It ought to be a sweet smelling savor. It ought to be captivating. I shouldn't come into the room with so much power aggression that it does not allow my femininity to shine. So let me give you a couple of examples, right? So I am Pastor Ashley. I've been a female preacher, minister for years. And it's been a fine line to walk, if I could be honest with you. Why, Pastor? Is because one side of it is you got the men that if you don't preach like a man, you ain't really preached. So you got women who got the preaching gift. Oh, this is deep right here. And now they feel like they got to, they feel like they got to hoop. They feel like they got to start looking more and more like a man in order to be respected, instead of allowing the beauty of the fact that I am a woman that has been called to preach and allow that to shine forth. See, that's been shunned. That femininity has been bruised. Oh, and I know some people are like, I can't believe she said it. I did, because it's the Happy Hour podcast. I did say it. That we got a lot of women that they're so heavy in the masculine side that they feel like they got to preach and do and achieve and go hardcore. And they got to start dressing and acting like a man, when that is not who God has called us to be. Ooh, child, was that heavy. My. I feel like I just need like some ice cream or some dessert or something, some power shopping. But in all seriousness, y'all know what I say repeatedly. Sometimes we got to deal with that heavy in order to get on over here to the happy. Friend, if you like what you've been seeing, and what I mean by that is this canary yellow, I don't know what do you see the side? And then I'm coming forward, and then yes, and then call my name, Ashley. yes. If you like all of this, I want to let you guys know I do have a hat line. God is so good. It's a successful hat line named Pattie Paige, after my mother, her beautiful self. But it was truly inspired by me, my love of hats. And men, women, white, black, all nationalities stopping me on the street and saying, it's so refreshing to see somebody wearing a hat. And all of a sudden, God spoke to me and said, you might want to do something with that. Because then they start asking, where can I get your hat? How can I get the hat that you have on? Well, folks, if you want to know how to get this Pattie Paige original, you can click the link in my bio right now for information, or you can go to pattiepage.com. That's PATTIEPAIGE.com. And this and many more beautiful hats got your name. So what I want you to do is make sure that you subscribe, and that you like, and that you follow me at I am the Ashley Johnson for more tips and more information. But more than anything, great style, great fashion. Over here, we keeping it happy. Now let's get back into the show, everybody. Then let's talk about the flip side. Some of the wounded masculine is you have so many men, because they saw over aggressive wounded masculine energy. Now they are men, but they are operating heavy in feminine energy. Are y'all ready to break it down? Do we need a breather? Everybody, come on, let's do it again. And let's get into what is healthy and what is not. So I got some notes to share with y'all. Is this good to you? Because friend, let me tell you something right now. It's good to me. So let's talk about wounded versus healthy. So I got a couple of things. One is the healthy masculine is strong in doing. So I'm going to talk to the men for a minute. And this might get controversial, but hey, it's all good. Some of the men struggle because how do you know that you're a man and you're operating heavy in feminine energy? And before some of you automatically assume that's manifestation of feminine traits. Because some of you all are the manliest of mans and you have no idea that you're operating in feminine energy. Feminine energy says this. Watch this. I'm talking to my producer right here. Watch this, T. Feminine energy, y'all got to holler at my girl. Feminine energy that's in a man manifests like this. Take care of me. Ooh, what? Ooh. I need, look, ooh. Anytime a man is comfortable with you, a female, taking care of them, whether they know it or not. This has nothing to do with homo and hetero. That don't have nothing to do with this. We're talking about the energy. Anytime you are more comfortable with being instead of doing, and you want the female in your life to not be and be more strong in doing for you, it's out of balance. Do we want to talk about it or not? Genuine masculine says, watch this, you're not going to outdo. Come on. You're not going to outgive. I want you in your beautiful state. I want to see you shine creatively. I want to see you elevate. I want to make sure that you're well. I don't want you to be so exhausted from trying to do that you can't be. And so many men are always looking for someone to do. And anytime you're always looking for someone else to do, whether you say, you talking homo, hetero, I'm not talking any of that. But what I am saying is you're heavy in feminine energy. Is this, y'all, this strong? But this happy hour, we are happy. But sometimes, y'all, the reason why we can't really be happy is because we don't want to deal with the heavy. We don't want to realize, hey, it's some stuff that I might be out of balance. Baby, can I tell y'all something? It's hard to be happy when you living out of balance.
Want behind the scenes footage and the inside track? Join the Goodie Gang by visiting www.jointhegoodiegang.com.
So with the feminine energy, let's talk about the woman that because she's now in a role where she's gotten either divorced or never been married and she's a single mom, she's having to do, right? So she's having to pay bills. She's having to manage the house. She's having to make sure all is well. She has inadvertently been placed in a role where her masculine has to be dominant. And I got so many men. These women so bold. These women, they too much. These women, what some of you don't understand is patience is going to have to be required on both, because some of these women, they didn't choose to be in the masculine role. It was a matter of survival. In order for the bills to get paid, in order for the child to be raised, I had to step it up and I had to become a person that's always doing and achieving in order for us to survive. And so where does that leave you, Pastor? It left me looking at my life and realizing that for years, my energy was off. For years, I didn't even know, because all I knew was taking care of business. And so to step back and to release my faith for the man of God that I don't have to dumb myself down for, but that I can be soft and vulnerable and, watch this word, safe, has been a process of healing that has been so beautiful and uncomfortable, right? To literally say, where you're used to almost, and we're going to talk more about this in the next episode, the mommy syndrome. How do I know when I'm being a helpmate or a good girlfriend? And when have I crossed the line into being a mother to you? What's the fine line? What's the balance? For the men, how do I know when I'm crossed the line where now I'm not trying to be this to you? I'm either trying to be your daddy, or we both fighting to be the woman in this relationship. Because I want you to take better care of me than I'm able to take better care of you. Y'all, this strong. I feel like, do we need to sing something? If you're happy and you know it, clap your hands. Come on. I'm just trying to lighten it up, because literally we got to go through sometimes these heavy subjects. These subjects that when I watch other shows and other podcasts, everybody's skirting around, right? Everybody's kind of skimming over. But I really want to submit to you, sometimes you have to break up with who you're not in order to discover who you are. So what is healthy, unhealed? Let's talk a little bit more about it. But y'all, if it's good, just be like, girl, yes, this is good. This is blessing you, because it's showing up blessing me. So healthy masculine is a man that's giving, that's confident, that's achieving, that's doing. Watch this. That's planning. This is so good. So if I know I'm in my good masculine energy and I'm strong in it, I always got a plan. So good, right? What is unhealed masculine? Extremely critical, discontent and never satisfied, right? Emotionally unavailable, which means you struggle with commitment. Somewhere on the inside, you want it, but somewhere you also emotionally unavailable, right? Controlling, constant inner and outer conflict. You're just kind of up and down all over the place a little bit. Selfish, needing to always be right. This is where it starts getting wounded. Aggressive, afraid of failure, seeking to dominate and control others, and gaslighting. Gaslighting, which means I know that I did it, but I got to flip the situation around to make you feel like you did it, right? That's unhealed masculine. Let's talk about healthy feminine versus unhealed or unhealthy. So healthy feminine is receiving, allowing. Oh, this is so good. Because y'all, I used to be the person that if I was in a relationship with someone, and I'm a big giver. I am. I'm gonna give, I'm gonna sow, all of that. But I had to learn sometimes when I encountered a masculine man really for the first time, it kind of threw me for a loop a little bit. Because guess what he told me? In the sweetest voice. He said, that's nice. He said, but I don't need that from you. He said, all I want you to do is just show up. What did I do? Because I was over in the masculine side doing too much. Because can I tell the truth? What did I do? So what I got to offer is not enough. Girl, what? This big girl crazy? Are you patronizing me? When he said, I just want to see your beautiful smile. Is that all you think? I'm helping somebody. Is that all you think that I got? I got a mind. Girl, if you don't hush. A real masculine man, just his joy is in you allowing yourself to be the beautiful, feminine version of yourself. Now watch this, not weak. See, that's unhealed masculine. A man that's heavy and solid in his masculine energy, baby, you can be president and he not be struggling because he still knows that there is a soft side of you that is reserved just for him. And even when you rule in the world, you can come home and you can cry and you can be vulnerable and you can laugh and you can be silly and you can be yourself, but you gonna be safe. I want you to ask yourself right now this question, especially to the women. When was the last time you really felt safe? Not a safety that you had to provide. Not a safety where you got to hustle and grind and make it happen, because if you don't, then it ain't going to. When was the last time you just felt good enough to just be? This is good. Unhealed feminine is being needy, powerless. Because see, some of y'all feel like that's what soft looks like. No, it's not. Soft girl season. That actually is truly unhealed feminine. Powerless, undervalued, low self-esteem, insecurity, constant needs for validation, lack of trust. These are areas when you're out of balance. The more toxic side is where you're easily attached. This is, then you become manipulative. Oh, you gonna see me. Can we talk about it? And finally, you're stuck in a victim storyline. This right here, is not just women. How do you know if you're a man operating in feminine energy? If you're the victim in every story that you tell. It's really time for us to do some healing. I want you guys to stay tuned. Join me for part 2 of masculine versus feminine energy. Are we really ready to embrace the happy and get up off of this heavy? Are we ready to really walk in balance? Stay tuned, y'all. Part 2 is coming up right after this. Do you like me? If you like me, listen, I want you to make sure that you are liking, that you are subscribing, and that above all, that you are following me, because soon we're going to be releasing some backstage, all the juicy dirt, the stuff that goes on behind the podcast, all the good stuff is going to be for those individuals that are committed. What? You know you get more when you put a ring on it. The commitment, right? Let's make a commitment. Let's connect. Like, follow, share. Follow me at I am the Ashley Johnson across the majority of my social media platforms. I'm excited to connect with you guys. Happy Hour is doing it big. Baby, you don't want to be left behind? Come on, follow me. Let's make it happen.